This is called a material and cost list sheet. It contains all the lumber we're going to use, the sheet goods, that means plywoods or particle boards or anything like that, hardware such as pulls or hinges or things like that, glass. The shop fee contains everything that you use here in the shop. Lacquer, screws, glue, things like that. And we're going to make a total cost of your project. We're then going to break out the project into procedures, right? Generally what has to be done step by step, generally, not specifically. Like first we'll build the top, and then we'll build the case, and then we'll build the feet, that kind of thing, and a target date. Which is going to be a little hard for us right now, but we'll figure it out. So I am going to make a materials list from this desk. And I want you to do the same. So the objective here for this assignment is you make a materials list with me, right? While I do the video, you do the cost list also using this project so that you may do your own project. That's the point. And you are going to, of course, do your work off your own drawing and make up this list so you know what it's going to cost you. There's a couple of things you have to know. First is the price of things. So this is a sheet from Intermountain Lumber. It's this booklet contains all this stuff that they sell, and they give this to us, right? This is a school price list, so they favor us and give us a discount on things that we are buying from them, and it's a great discount. And I have highlighted here cherry, maple, walnut. And I want you to note that things are done per board foot. So, for example, 4/4 Wormy Soft Maple is $1.94 for 1 board foot. This designation, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 8/4, is a thickness designation. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when it's time. But we have to determine, so that we know the cost, what the board foot is. BD period FT period. So let's talk about board foot and what that means. So they're writing it like this, board foot, which is an abbreviation, right, for board foot. It's also written like that. That's a symbol for board foot. A board foot represents a piece of wood that is 1 inch by 12 inches long and 12 inches long, wide. So let me draw some wood grain on there. That's 1 board foot. You can also calculate a board foot by using a formula. So, for example, that's not how we buy lumber, right? We buy lumber in boards, which are in varying widths, varying thicknesses, and varying lengths. Let's take an example here. Let's say this one is 96 inches long, 12 inches wide, and 1 inch in thickness. We need to calculate how many board feet is in there. Now, you might say, well, that's an easy one, McNeil, 96 inches, that's 8 feet. And there's 8 of those in there. But let's do it for the sake of a formula so that we can derive it. A board foot is calculated by going thickness by width by length. Divide all of that by 144. So let's do this. Thickness is 1. The width is 12. The length is 96 inches. Divide all of that by 144. 12 times 96 is, I don't know, I'm going to have to do it longhand. My calculator is on the phone, which is what I'm using to record this. 12, 18, 19, and then 6, 96, that'd be 2, 10, 11, 52 divided by 144. So now we're going to divide that. I can see that I am going to need a calculator before we get too long into this. 144. So I'm guessing this is 8. So let's work it out. 32, 32, 35. Yeah. So that's 8 board feet. So we would say that this is 8 board feet, and that's how we would write it. So how much would this board cost? Well, now we go back to number 1 cherry, 4/4, 4/4 equals 1, by the way. 5/4 is 1 1/4. 6/4 is 1 2/4. 8/4 would be 2 inches thick. So if this was a board of cherry, I would go 8 times $2.22, and that would give me my cent. So it would be $16.17-ish for that board right there. Okay? So we need to calculate board foot, and we have to calculate board foot for every piece on here. Now, since you have built a mock-up, you kind of understand the way this goes together. Some pieces are easier to do than others, and we could break up every single piece in here and calculate the board foot. I like to do what's called a materials map. And group everything together in like sizes and draw it visually. So for example, I'm going to do the top of this. Okay, so I want you to also take notes with me here, do the same thing. And I also want you to draw this materials map with me as we go. So let's do the top first. The top, I'm drawing a representation of it, is 22 inches by 46 inches. Now I'm going to make a slight variation here. I think this top should be an inch thick at least. And right here it's supposed to be 3/4 of an inch, but I think we need to make it bigger, heavier. So we are going to use 5/4 material, not 4/4 for the top. And I suggest this for everybody doing a desk. It brings the cost up, but I think it's a more substantial top, and I think you'll like it better. So this is going to be 1 inch thick. And you say, well, that's what 4/4 is, but that's really not what it is, because you take 1 inch thick and then you have to plane it down, right, to get a nice flat surface. So really you have to get thicker. So to do the math for this, to find the board feet of the top, I go board feet equals thickness, which is 1 1/4. You're like, well, that's not it. But that is it, because this is what you have to buy in order to yield 1 inch thick. So that's thickness times the width is 22 times 46, all divided by 144. Let's change that 1 1/4 to 1.25. That'll be easier to calculate. I need to go get a calculator.